in the NFL draft.
Hey, make us lunch. We're hungry.
Yo, everybody, how you doing? So yesterday I picked the Eagles to beat the Redskins on Monday Night Football. Not only did I give you a prediction, but I told you how I think it's going to happen. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about in that video that I didn't get a chance to was I wanted to talk about my expectations for the Eagles after this Redskin game. Before the season starts, people want to know predictions, what you think they're going to do. I had the Eagles winning the division at 10-6. But it looks like that may not be all that's in store for this team. Now, you know me, a lot of you do. You know I'm goofy. You know I like to do stupid videos. I like to make jokes. I like to act dumb. I like to tell you what's on my mind. They call me King Dingbat. I call myself King Dingbat. But this video, I want to speak to you from the heart. I want to speak to you what I feel as an Eagle fan and what I think about this team and where they're going. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to hear what's going to happen 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks. They think it's a jinx. They think that if you do that, you're being arrogant or you're jinxing the team and that you're going to ruin everything. I disagree. I think when you are scared, when you are fearful, the worst is going to happen. Then the worst happens. That's what they say. Scared money don't win. Scared money don't win. And if you've ever been to the casinos or shot craps or played, you know that that is true as the day is bright. Okay? It's true. It's true. And the way I see it is as not being a player, not being a coach, not being in the front office, it's okay for me to look ahead. It's okay for you to look ahead. I see this Redskin game. I see this Redskin game as a humongous spot in the schedule that is going to basically send the Eagles one of three ways. This is a moment in the season that people will look back on and say that point was when you really know where the Eagles were going to go. You really saw the path. And that's what I think about this game. So I see the Eagles going one of three ways. The first way, the worst way, let's say, we'll call it the third way. Let's call it the third way. The third way is the Eagles lose this game. Then they begin to lose. Then they fall apart and they collapse and they don't make the playoffs. This is the worst way. Now, just so you know, all these three ways I'm going to talk about are all not accounting injury, guys getting hurt, losing franchise-type players. I'm not accounting anything when it comes to injuries because those are too unpredictable. But let's say the Eagles remain healthy, lose the Redskins, lose some games they shouldn't lose, and collapse. That would be the worst way. The second way this could go is the Eagles lose to the Redskins on Monday, turn around, become tied for first place with the Redskins, and battle out the rest of the year for the division, okay, with the Redskins, and one of those two teams wins the division, the other one probably gets a wild card. Now, you'll probably be a third or a fourth seed and a wild card. So anywhere from seed 3 to seed 6 is probably where you would finish. But the Eagles should still finish 10-6 at the best. Or not at the worst, I should say. At the worst, they should still finish 10-6. If they don't finish 10-6, if they don't have at least 10 wins, then heads have to roll. Somebody has to answer for that because that would be unacceptable. If they're 5, let's say they lose the Redskins and they're 5-2, and then they play the Niners, I don't believe the Niners have a chance in hell to beat the Eagles. So that would take the Eagles to 6-2. Now, whether they win or lose to Denver, they have a bye week. They should be able to win 4 more games on the rest of their schedule. Okay? They should be able to beat the Giants again, who I guaranteed we would sweep. We should be able to beat Chicago. We should be able to beat Dallas one or two times, right? At least split, let's say, at least split. And then You have that Oakland game at home, which I really like on Christmas. I think it's a good spot for the Eagles. There's no reason why Eagles, who would, let's say, go into the bye 6-3, cannot win 4 more games the rest of the year. If that happened, heads have to roll. You have to win at least 10 games at this point. Even before the Redskin game, where we're at right now, you need to finish with at least 10 wins. Then, the number one way, and the way that I think this is going, is the Eagles beat the Redskins on Monday night. They become 6-1. Then they play the Niners at 7-1. Whether they win or lose against Denver, which I believe they would win and be 8-1. But if they didn't, they still go into bye week at 7-2 or 8-1, right? It's going to be one of those two things. You can't tell me that this team cannot win 4 more games against the Redskins, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. They have the Giants again. They have Dallas again. They have Oakland. They can win 4 more games. So if you're 7-2 at the bye, you have to win at least 4 more games. That takes you to 11-5. Now, 11-5 in this year with this conference may be a 2 seed. May not. It's going to be right around the border. But if you're 8-1, you should be able to win 4 more games. That takes you to 12-4, and you're definitely going to get a bye week. So if the Eagles win, I think the Eagles become a top 2 seed in this conference. Anything less than that would be disappointing to me. But if somehow they don't finish with at least double-digit wins, then heads have to roll, in my opinion. And, barring injury and that kind of thing. So I think it's going to go one of 3 ways. It's either the Eagles are going to lose and collapse and they're not that good and they come down to earth and they struggle and everything goes to hell and it's disappointing. I don't think that's likely. The second, they lose to the Redskins. They become in a big battle with the Redskins for the NFC East. They still finish with at least 10 wins, get into the playoffs. I think that's really likely. I think that's very likely that they get at least 10 wins. Then, what I expect to happen, the Eagles to beat the Redskins, because they're at home on Monday night. I expect the Eagles to beat the Redskins, to beat the Niners, to beat the Broncos. That takes them to 8-1 at a bye week. 4 more wins is doable. It should happen. So, when I look at this whole thing, I think it's very possible that the Eagles can finish 12-4 with a 1 or 2 seed. Now, that's my goal right now. I want a 1 or a 2 seed and get a bye week. Then you have a home game. 1 win in the home game would take you to the championship game. Then anything can happen, okay? I'm not worried about all the other things, about going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. I know people don't even like to hear that word, but like I said, scared money don't win. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say the word Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Stupid Bowl. Stink Bowl. Super Bowl. I'm not afraid of it. That doesn't mean I'm saying the Eagles are going to Super Bowl. All I'm saying is my goal is a 1 or a 2 seed. If you beat the Redskins, you're going to beat the Niners. You should beat Denver. You should be 8-1 at the bye. How could anybody say after the bye week an 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles team should not be a 1 or 2 seed? Anything less than 11, 12 games would be bad. Would mean you're losing most of your games. So this Redskin game is that big of a point in this season, man. Last week the Carolina game was too, but beating Carolina put us in this spot against Washington. I'm telling you, this game, if the Eagles win this game, the Eagles are going to be a 1 or 2 seed. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. And I'm excited about it. So I had to get that off my chest. I had to speak about that. Truthfully, not kidding, not joking. I just wanted to speak from the heart and tell you that's what I think. And I think and I expect that to happen for this team. And it's not trying to be arrogant. It's not trying to be cocky. It's just there's a lot that has gone on that is working in the Eagles' favor. So barring injury, barring anything disastrous, this is a real possibility. And that's what I'm shooting for. So can't wait for the Redskin game. It's going to be big time. It's going to be big time. with that said, I hope everybody has a great weekend, a good football Friday. Take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.